This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I'd like to call the Public Works Committee of February 1st, 2021 to order at 5:02 p.m. I'm Ken Poisson, 6th District Councilman and Chairman of the Public Works Committee. Next item on the agenda is approval of minutes. I'll take a motion to approve January's minutes.
Bill O'Brien, so
Motion to-
moved.
I'll second Laura Dancho.
Is there any discussion? Not hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Next is report of the Public Works Director. Renee has emailed her report to us ahead of time as always. Thank you very much to streamline the meeting. Does anybody have any questions for Renee?
Renee, thanks. A lot of information, a few specifics. How are the snow operations going so far?
So far, I think they're going good. We've got every piece of equipment that's drivable with a plow out on the road, and everybody that we could grab is in a truck and doing the best they can, trying to keep up with the snowfall that is coming down fast and furious and blowing all over the place. But so far, we're doing good considering the amount of snow we've had to deal with.
And so far, no private contractors needed?
So far, not any private contractors on the roads needed.
Okay. Then can you just give a brief description of the transfer station layout project?
I haven't had a chance to sit down with Rocky yet. We've kind of just sat down, me and Brian Snyder, and started spitballing a more cohesive layout that hopefully alleviates the traffic that seems to get backed up on Watson Boulevard there. But we haven't started coming up with a plan, an actual design yet. We've only been tossing out some ideas of a different layout, but there definitely will be an installation of another scale. So there'll be a way in and a way out versus trucks kind of bottlenecking right now, weighing in and then having to come back out to weigh out on the same exact scale. So we're definitely gonna, have a better flow at the end of the day.
And I have to keep saying that the last few times I've been there, it's so much neater down there than it used to be.
Yeah. And that's, we're still want to improve upon the layout and the way people kind of come in, and what we're seeing as being the most accumulated stuff at the transfer station, and just laying it out in a way that makes sense, where people are kind of pulling into that maybe more busier location, whether it's cardboard or electronics, and being able to get in and get out. And like I said, we just really want to alleviate the traffic jam that seems to accumulate at Watson.
And then just the Longbrook Park tennis courts, that's a CIP program that currently we still have on hold based on how the finances work out.
That's correct. We have the architect and engineering firm finalizing their design, and as soon as they're done and we are able to go out to bid, because the finances are in a good position to do so, we're ready to move.
Okay, good. And then one thing not on your agenda, I just want to ask about the summer cottage at Booth. Any update on the couple projects there, like the handicap bathroom? And
I know Danny was putting in the permits for all that.
okay, thanks. That's it, Ken.
Hey, thanks, Bill. Anybody else have any questions for Renee?
I just have a quick question for Renee. Is there
Laura, go ahead, and then Caitlin.
Okay, is there a timeline for the clock project at Paradise Green?
The clock project we've run into a little bit of a snag with. The state will not allow us, or will not issue us a permit for the layout that we wanted to, building up that wall. We could put the clock in the place it was before without that protective wall that we kind of designed to put in there, or we could find a different location for the clock. Brian Snyder has kind of tossed around a couple of quick designs of different locations. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and review them and then submit them around to see what people's take are. If they want to see it moved, or would they rather just put it back where it was before? It was there for many, many years unharmed.
Right.
So
All right. I know it's probably
it's,
not top priority, but I'd like to see it up.
yeah,
Mhm.
I definitely would too. We've had it for a while.
Mhm.
I think, you know, you just have to decide. I mean, it's a landmark where it's been. If that's where people would like to see it put back, we can do that.
Mhm. And then are you going to proceed with the, like I saw the fence work is up and the extra parking? Like
Around Paradise Green?
mhm.
Yeah, that's done. That's
It's-
completed. I'm not sure if there was anything else that was supposed to be done there. I thought it was completed.
Okay. Haven't seen you by there obviously in a while. Thank you.
All right, Caitlin.
Thank you, Ken. Bill and Laura, you both issued two of my concerns, so thank you for bringing it up. On Wednesday, we have our Longbrook Park Commission, and we are going to get an update regarding the tennis courts, but thank you, Renee, for giving the update, and Laura regarding the clock at Paradise Green. My next question was regarding the coordination with the COVID vaccines with DPW. Is there any update you could share with us?
You mean as far as getting them in for vaccines?
Yes. Have any
We
of our,
just are following,
go ahead.
we're just following the guidelines. And right now it is just 75 and older. We do have guys all registered and ready. So when the governor does change the order and allows them, they're ready to go. But yeah, right now it's just 75 and older. So my guys have to wait.
Okay. So I guess just for my clarification, within phase 1A with essential workers that have interaction with like the public, DPW wasn't included, but I know our police officers and I believe firefighters as well were included. So I'm just
Yes, and our
confused
water
as to
treatment.
why DPW was left out.
I think it's just the way they consider it, because police and fire do medical calls and
Mhm.
Public Works does not. So they were first, though we did get water treatment guys just because they deal with, you know, obviously waste that can, you know, be contaminated that they are exposed to. So they were afforded the vaccine, and I would say 95% of them did get in and get the first shot, and they'll be going for the second shot in probably the second week of February. I think they're up for it.
Okay, thank you. That's good to know that some of our essential staff and DPW have gotten the vaccine already.
Yes, and there were plenty of DPW guys that attempted to get the vaccine as the police and in different locations, and they were all turned away by every clinic they attempted to because they did not qualify because they don't do medical calls.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Renee, I have just a couple of things on, because I'm sure the building needs, we get the open work orders for the Board of Ed and for the town. And the last couple of months, I think a couple of things have mistakenly been put on the building needs open work orders instead of Public Works. If I could just give you two quick addresses.
Sure.
There's a complaint of a dead tree at 250 Johnson.
I've been out to that one. It is marked for takedown. There was also a limb on a line. I don't know if you've gotten that complaint too. The limb was
Yeah.
removed.
Okay. Is the tree still on the takedown list?
Yes, but it's not in the condition that would warrant it be taken down immediately. There are far worse dead trees that have to come down first,
Right.
but it is in the queue to be taken down.
Okay, thank you. And the other one was something on 15 Brandon Avenue, a tree or a stump.
I'll have to look into that one, but yeah, that should be on the Public Works, not building, not building needs.
Yeah, and that building needs later. I'm just gonna tell Danny or whoever's putting him on that list to, just double check and make sure they're getting on the right list.
Yep, no worries.
All right, thank you very much, Renee. Next up is a
sorry,
report
Ken.
from town engineer.
I have one more question.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Speaking of tree removals, I know here in Longbrook Park, I believe, did they remove 2 trees recently by the playground?
I
it
don't
two
know
or-
how many. I know Kelly was supposed to have included that in her report for the Longbrook meeting of how many trees came down and their replanting plan. I don't know if it was 2 or 4. I don't remember the number she told me, but she did tell me trees came down in Longbrook. That she
Okay,
took
I'll look
trees down.
Okay, I'll look out for that report because I haven't gotten anything yet for our meeting.
Okay.
So,
All righty, next agenda item is a report of the town engineer, John Casey. He has also emailed his report to us ahead of time. John, it's a little shorter report than usual, no action items, but if you have any highlights, it's all yours.
Yeah, I won't go through each item. There's not a whole lot to report. There is progress going on each item, but the Circle Drive Bridge, we talked about some options last month, and I wanted to let you know that the engineer is costing out those options. So once we get those costs, we can better inform you on our recommendations for which option to pursue. So hopefully by next month, we'll have that information for you. And then the Old Spring Road culvert replacement. We did get our inland wetland permit on that. The final design has been completed and submitted for review and comment. So we'll be getting ready to bid the project. We will be sending letters out to the residents because there's a tight area there to work, and we may be impacting some fringe parts of people's properties. We want to coordinate with the owners and let them know we're going to restore whatever gets disturbed. But also, the plan is to close the road there during the construction, so the bridge can be removed and replaced as one task. And we'll let them know that. But I wanted to make sure you knew that. That's something we talked about probably 2 years ago, but I just want to remind everybody that that is the plan. Of course, that road, you can get to it from both sides of the road, so closing it shouldn't be too much of an impact. And then finally, the MS4 permit, our annual report is being prepared now, and it will be up for public comment on February 15th. Once we get the comments back from the public, we'll make whatever edits need to be made, and then we'll file it with the state in the end of March. So those are our key points I just wanted to highlight for you. If there's any other questions, I'm open to it.
All right, thank you, John. Does anybody have any questions for John?
Hey, John, I think that this probably be a new business item, but I think we've talked about in the past. People have often mentioned the need for better lighting in Paradise Green and the crosswalks. Can we reach out to the state to see if they can make that happen?
I'm not sure what the state would do about that. A lot of times they consider pedestrian safe part of the town's responsibilities, especially in the area where the town has the commercial parking lot that we actually maintain within their right of way. There is pedestrian scale lighting that was put up in the streetscape project in the 1990s. So there is quite a bit of light there, but maybe not necessarily focused at crosswalks. Is there any particular crosswalk that is an issue that you're aware of?
Yeah, the one that goes into the park area I forget what street that comes from, but that's very dark there. And then even the next one up. But I thought being a state road that they would have something to do with it.
Well, we can reach out to them and, but it'd be good to know, specifically what, if there's a particular one that's an issue. And maybe Renee, I can talk about it.
Okay, thanks.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mayor.
if I may, because we've talked about this many, many times as I put it on the traffic authority agenda, it's about $10,000 to put a pedestrian signaled crosswalk there, where when the pedestrian is in the crosswalk and it notifies traffic via a series of lights that there's a pedestrian there. So we would have to petition the state, but we would also have to come up with the money for the crosswalk. So there have been suggestions that we put one at Paradise Green and Stratford Center, and one other place that is escaping me now. I think it was more up on Spring Road by the Bend. So those are the things that we've talked about. So if you are interested, Counselor, pursuing this, we can allocate the money during budget. Thank you.
Also, for Mr. Chairman, can I ask the mayor
Yes, Bill.
about what you just talked about? I think one of the issues, Laura, that people have said, can we just have better lighting there? Because that one that goes into the park is so dark, you can't really even see somebody standing there until it's too late. Rather than a light, a crosswalk light, just better lighting up above.
So we could, but if you notice the lighting, it's that soft white lighting that we have around all that area because of the aesthetics. If you want to change it to bright LED lighting, it's going to look very different and it's going to change the aesthetic. So it might be worth it to figure out from a lighting plan whether we can increase the wattage in a soft white LED versus the bright white and just add more lights.
Okay, thanks. That makes sense.
Any other questions for John?
This is Laura Dancho, just real quick. Between, I guess, either Renee and John, have the complaints about the new light at the end of Silver Lane calmed down at all, or is that still ongoing? Silver and Nichols.
That's come down.
Okay, good. Because
I think it just, when the holidays were over, it just subsided.
Mhm. Yeah, that's good. I've been through there several times and I think it's a really big improvement.
And if I could just circle back around to Ms. Shake, I was just texting Kelly and she said 2 trees came down that were between the bathrooms and the small playground. And there are others that are slated to come down that are too close to the dam, but they haven't come down yet. But they'll be covered in the report.
Okay, great, thank you. And that's helpful because I know probably like a month and a half ago, we had a giant tree come down by the dam and you guys cleaned it up within a couple hours because someone had brought it to our attention. So thanks.
All righty, next on the agenda is item 5, our next regular meeting. First Monday of the month always will be March 1st at the usual 5 o'clock. Item 6 is new business. Does anybody have any new business? Okay, hearing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Bill O'Brien.
Second by Bill Perillo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? As always, everybody, thank you very much for your time and efforts. On behalf of the town, we are adjourned at 5:21 p.m. Thank you.